This is an example of what a strategy could look like when you are finished with it as an expert team member. This is Maggie's example, and she still needs someone to help her finish it out. But I want to show you what Maggie's done in terms of what a student expectations are in relation to this assignment as an expert. So she's taken the template that was shared with her, and she's changed the title to what her strategy is, fill in the team members, suggested applications. She found 4 different iPad apps. There were quite a few iPad apps for this one. And she filled out, according to the template directions, a summary of it and how it kind of relates to her strategy. And then I filled in a few different Web 2 applications that I found. Some of those you have to pay for, but anyway, so we have the Web 2 and the mobile apps covered, as in the directions on the template page. And then the instructors page, again, this links to a folder. Don't touch the link, let it link to a folder, as do each of these larger subtitles. They link to folders. And here she has the link to the original source in which she obtained this from. I'm not going to open it, it's a PDF, but a lot of you are using that same site, the AEA 267, and so you can do the same thing, just link directly to the PDF. Gives credit to where credit is due, and also gives a strategy that people can download. And then Maggie analyzed her strategy along with the iPad app, and this is what resulted from that. And I modified the format for her so that we could see what these could look like. So rather than restating the entire strategy, she's come in here and given considerations for choosing her application for use with the strategy. So here gives a little explanation that these are additions to the strategy, modifications to the strategy to better help. And so she noticed some themes coming out of things that needed to be added to that template, the student template. So she has measuring choice consequences, considerations of how choices will affect those around students, and weighing long versus short-term consequences. These are her findings when she analyzed the app according to the strategy and trying to modify the strategy to better fit current mobile apps or Web 2 apps that people can use in learning environments. And so this is her example, and she provided a screenshot to show a sample question of how the app works, and that also kind of gave you a picture of what she was talking about when she needed to have these different considerations made. And so she made for example, she says the Great Decisions app only weighs choices, not consequences, which will have to be inferred by the users. So that informed her design or her modification of the student template, which you'll see in a bit. And so that's the instructors page, according to what Maggie deduced, which is exactly what we want happening if you're using those AEA strategies. And now on the learners page, again, that links to a document. Here she links to the original off of the AEA website. Here is a link to the modification. The main one just had an if-then. It was a simple table with if-then. That was all that was on the student template. According to Maggie's analysis, this table's been adapted accordingly. So there are directions at the top, and then there's the if-then that was on the original table. But here's if and then 3 different choices because, for example, what should I do at first base or second base, whatever her question was, had 3 choices in it. You can have many more choices, you can just have 2. But anyway, it's a table to get people going, get students using it. And then she has, so she has the choices and then the consequences, because she said they would have to think about that. And then the choice effect and how it affects other people. They have to think about that. They have to determine the weight. And so these directions were made according to her analysis, fitting the needs of the analysis and how she furthered the instructor page. And along with these questions, these also fit that too. So if you go back to her main page, you have Her learner samples are yet to be put up because it's still early week and she's still working on that. So there'll be one learner sample from Maggie and one from her partner, whoever that will end up being. And then the top peer samples won't be completed until after, in the course schedule, after we meet strategy 1 and strategy 2 assignments. Then you'll harvest, so to speak, some of your top peer samples that replied to your strategy and whatever samples they came up with. So that's an overview of what we're looking for on that page and with those associated instructor and learner documents.